Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another one of our classy live streams here. We've exceeded 50 live streams by actually quite a bit, believe it or not, for those of you who are keeping score. Today's live stream is going to be taking us to the beautiful, unbelievably breathtaking Monument Valley. For those of you who do have VR capabilities, go check it out in VR. I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in VR. I'm super impressed with it. So for today, we're going to be parking in this little guy right here. This is the CTSL. This is a really, really fun treat of an airplane here. It's lightweight. It's very easy to handle. And my wife calls it a death trap. We were at a flying show actually last year, and they had one of these things on display. And I kid you not, I think about the size of my boot is how far off the ground the bottom of this thing is. It's unbelievably tiny, but it's super duper 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 cool. So we're going to go ahead and get started here today. Like I said, I'm going to get this thing warmed up. We're trying to get airborne right on 11 o'clock on time. We have an interesting choice to make as a flying group this morning. We're going to have to decide whether or not we want to go due south, which is going to take us on this really, really interesting creek, which is very tricky to navigate, or we're going to be taking the San Juan River, which is going to take us a little bit more westward, but it's a lot easier to navigate. You'll see what I mean when we get there, kind of a thing. It's pretty darn wild. All right, battery generator set. So we're going to turn on the beacon light. We're going to turn on the fuel. We're going to make sure the parking brake is set to the on position. We're going to crack the throttle. We're going to pull the choke. We're going to take a look to make sure everything else is clear. We're going to go ahead and open up the window and yell clear prop, and we're going to go ahead and crank this thing. Very easy startup. Nothing too easy. Just got to kind of catch it. All right, we're going to give it a little bit of gas here. Let the engine start warming up. We were running some things around the pattern earlier here, so we still got a pretty warm engine, which isn't too bad with this little Rotax guy. Kill the choke. It should come up pretty quick. And yeah, I'm not surprised that I don't think they model the choke because usually it goes all over the place when you do it. All right, warm up on this thing is about 2,500. That looks pretty good to me. This looks all right. We'll go ahead and flip on the avionics here. I have preset everything. I love how the new version of Flight Sim now features the ability to actually see other traffic. Oh my God, thank you. So like I said, this will be pretty good. I also went through and I adjusted all my displays and everything, kind of play with it. But like I said, this is going to be less of useful to us as it is going to be deciding it. Antonio, no, Antonio, I'm sorry. All right, we are at, today we're at Bluff Airport. This is a 6-6 Victor. We're way, like I said, this is way out in the American Midwest here. You're going to see some amazing sights today. And I've been saving this one, not for a special occasion, but more because it's just kind of cool. And I figured we'd do something different. What I really wanted to do is do something over in with the AN2. But I know that not everybody has that plane yet. So I'll hold off on that one to another night. All right, let's go ahead and spin around. You can tell by the traffic around the sky that this is a very popular spot. Apparently, from the research that I did on Monument Valley, never been there myself, it is one of the most photographed objects in the planet. And when we come ripping over out of the valley there, you'll see exactly what I mean when we go. So I'm just going to kind of get us going. Let's see what time we got. I got a minute to get to the end of the runway. I'm doing fine. Oh my gosh, does this thing want to go fast. Another VR fans, go ahead and try this one. If you have not tried this in VR, it'll melt your brain how tiny it is. Like, I don't think I could bend my knees enough to get my feet on those pedals. It's incredible. Another thing I love, too, is I have a brake button, but your brake button is grabbing the handle. I don't know. I love stuff like that. All right, let's go bounce around to the end of the airport. I can see the windsock is pretty sad today. Is kind of facing that direction. Sort of, what do you want to call that? Let's see here. What direction are we facing? As if we had a directional indicator in here somewhere. We're facing the northeast, so that's favoring the southwest direction, which is appropriate because you got to think where we kind of are right now. Already, I'm kind of stunned by how beautiful this area is. One thing I've always made comments about, the beauty of the desert. It's just this empty, dry, lifeless thing. But it does have stuff going on for it. And you actually, can see some pretty interesting weather patterns out here. We popped the clouds up pretty high. I don't think we're going to run into them too quickly today, so I'm not worried about that in any means. And when we get to the valley itself, it's like I said, it'll blow you away. It's like seeing the Great Pyramids for the first time as a passenger. It's incredible. All right, I'm going to make my way down here. So I have to ask our audience here, our viewers at home, would you prefer to take the very, very challenging, and I mean challenging, tight creek, which is going to take us south, and then we have to go west? Or would you prefer the much more broad San Juan River, which is, it's a river. It's nice and easy turns. We're not going to have to worry too much about smacking into things in the edges of the canyon on either side. So I leave that decision up to you. I'm fine with either one. If we take the creek, obviously, I'm going to have to pull out of the creek from time to time because it just gets too tight for a plane like this to actually navigate. And obviously, if you take the San Juan, we can, skid our wheels in the water and everything like that. It's a pretty big river. Also, along our journey, we're going to be making a little pit stop at, well, actually, it depends which direction we go there. But I would like to make a pit stop over at this really, really cool dirt road that's next to a uranium mine. Look at how tight this thing turns. That's so absurd. Love that. Now we got we got one for Creek. All right, I'm going to let you folks make that decision real fast. I'm going to go shut damage off. Yes, I do play pretty hardcore here. Let's see here. I'm going to go shut damage off because I really don't want to accidentally here. And trust me, I will accidentally into the side of the creek, especially if you pick that one instead of the San Juan River. But it'll be pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and run through our checkoff list here. Let's see, our pre-flight's done. Doors are closed. Safety belt, I've got it on. Fuel quantity, we'll go ahead and check that real fast. I got plenty on that side, and I got plenty on that side. I'm not worried about it. We're going to make our fuel valves good. We're going to make sure our before takeoff is checked. That's what I'm doing right now. Pitch trim should be neutral. I love the pitch trim on this thing. You don't need trim in this thing. Choke and carb heat are both going to be in the off position. We're going to confirm that our flight controls are free and clear. I got 2 votes for Creek. We're doing the Creek. Don't tell me. If one of you crashes, I'm not feeling bad. I'm just telling you all now. All right, let's see here. That's good to go. Flaps set. Parachute is confirmed armed. All right, we're good to go. It's about 10 o'clock. Actually, it's 11 o'clock. 02, so I'm a little off. Let's go. This thing is so relaxed on takeoff. Also, notice our local altitude here is 4,500 feet. So we're up pretty high. The planes are not going to have the same pickup as they would. All right. Okay, you had to make this difficult for me. All right, let's go. All right, so we take off here. Like I said, you got a wonderful, wonderful, amazing national park basically right off my right wing up to the north here. And we're just going to be kind of sailing just a little bit overhead here. I'm not going to be getting too much altitude. I don't need it. We're going to be using a lot of speed today, so I'm actually going to use the negative flaps, something I'm so... Look at this. Negative flaps. We're going to use some negative flaps today just to give me just a slightly better lift-to-drag ratio. And we're going to start making our way down. All right. Make sure your damage is turned off. Don't blame me. Love stuff like this. Oh man, I gotta work on my turn coordination. I'm seeing that bubble wiggle. In the real world, by the way, when you're flying an airplane, it's much, much simpler to use the rudder because you can just kind of feel it in your butt. And it's not that you can feel it. It's just, I don't know. There's like, you get this slight, like just almost like a vertigo that hits you and you can feel exactly. So this one right here is not the creek. This is, like I said, part of the river that we're looking at earlier. This is San Juan River. As you can see, it's pretty mellow. It's not a lot of craziness going on here. And oh man, I would love, my hiking like instincts and love is like kicking in pretty hardcore right now. Like I've always joked, I could probably not run a mile, but I could probably hike for 2 days straight. It's just kind of one of those things. I love climbing mountains. It's so pretty here. And I love how green it is. It's just amazing. You got to imagine basically sitting right there on my right, looking out over all of that, where, you know, basically the river gives life. The river is life and everything along those lines. All right, let's give it a couple RPM. Our cruise RPM on this thing is 5,300, believe it or not. So I'll go give it a couple extra RPMs. And we're going to back the throttle up. These little Rotax engines are interesting little devices here. The hard part is trying to keep them at the RPM we want to keep them at. I think we're going to have to live at that RPM right there. Good enough. Let's go. Look at how beautiful this region is. I know some of the satellite photos definitely are a little funky. But I still can kind of get a feel for it. Monument Valley is actually, let me go ahead and get this. It's on the border between Arizona and Utah. It's actually very close to what they call Four Corners, where you have 4 U.S. states that basically run into each other. Everybody has to get out of the car and stand on all 4 corners of the states. It's the silliest thing, but it's tourism for you, so oh well. Alrighty then. This is so gorgeous. Glad we took the little planes today and not the big heavy planes with autopilot. This is going to be much more fun. Alright. San Juan River. Oh my gosh, could you imagine like the little bears chilling out down there and all the animals coming for a sip and the kind of fishing you can get? Just how incredibly peaceful and quiet it is until, you know, a bunch of light sport aircraft decide to come say hi. Now, for those of you who have not seen Monument Valley, or for those of you who have not heard of Monument Valley, you're in for quite a treat here. I think you'll get a kick out of this. It's going to come ripping along here, enjoying this. Oh man, this is so nice. Okay, so remember a minute ago I said you had a choice, and I said this might not be the best choice. All right, let's do it. I love how you can hear the engine go, ah, so true, so true. right. I'm gonna go this way. Don't tell me I didn't warn you. I warned you. The thing I love about the Rotax engine is it's such a high RPM engine. The transmission is constantly going in your ear the entire time. All right. Let's do it. I warned you. All right, I hope everybody turned damage off. Woo! Got to stay underneath the enemy radar here. We don't want them to be doing anything too foolish here. Got to go ahead and level off here. All right, let's see how aggressive your canyon turns are. Whoa. Go ahead and pull a tight one to that, and then we're going to roll right around. I don't think I have enough roll rate on this thing for this kind of a canyon. We should have done this in stunt planes. Hear the engine go, what are you doing? Alrighty then. So, my kid version would try to go ahead and power right through this corner, but my adult version of myself is smart enough to know to go over because it's a switchback. And we're just going to compiling right back down into the creek here. Hopefully you're using the full limits of your controls here. There we go. Whee! I think it's safe to say they're probably not going to pick us up on radar here. We're a bit low. All right, doing fine. This is so beautiful, though. I love this region. Okay, this is the hard part. I don't know if we're going to have enough roll rate to actually pull this off in this plane. Oh, boy, here we go. Woohoo! Uh-oh. Now, you're the one who wanted to come flying down this creek. Go on, Steph. You can do it. You can do it. I love flying like this. This is so much fun for me. Oh, boy. Here we go. All right. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Oh. And I feel sorry for the people who get easy motion sickness. All right. So I'm going to come in nice and low here. As much as I'd love to zigzag through every one of these little nook and crannies, I think you can see how tricky that's going to be to try to do it. I just don't have the roll rate for it. So I'm just going to kind of hover over nice and low here. Nice. I wonder what the park rangers are going to be thinking about me right now. All right, keep an eye on the creek. Oh man, look at those smooth, coordinated turns. There's a flight out instructor out there somewhere who's going, nice. Ready for the hard part? Oh, here we go. A smarter version of myself would do this at a lower speed so I can take these corners better. Just love hearing the engine like slow down for a second there. Hey, there's somebody's house up there. Look at how ridiculous this is. Should have changed the time of day here, but I love seeing the sun on the one side and then not seeing the sun on the other side. And again, come back with this with a stunt. You can't do this with an F-18. Sorry, Tom Cruise, Maverick. What was it? The Good Dinosaur was the animated movie? I can never remember the name of that one. I just think about these kinds of valleys, but that's up in Montana. You know, we're down here in, like I said, southern Utah, Arizona-ish. Don't know that we've crossed the border just yet. All right, first one who eats it on a power line. I feel sorry for the person in the 172. Have fun with that. Oh man, this is so cool. Just when I get the glint of the, oh my gosh, here we go. Oh! Ah, we lost one! Told you to turn damage off. This is so fun. You couldn't do this in the real world. You'd either damage the plane, smack into a pole, or hit a bird. Should put on synthetic vision on. That would have been fun to watch this whole time. All right, whoa! I got it. Kind of reminds me of Israel, where you have those really, really narrow areas near the Sea of Galilee. Kind of got that kind of same Canyon Valley sort of things going here. I just love hearing the plane creak. Next time I pull a real high G corner, I'll be quiet. Normally I turn around and say hello to all the people who are on our stream today, but I'm afraid to look away from the controls for a second. Wait, listen to the creaks. That's awesome. Believe it or not, we're starting to get close to the border of Arizona. Exactly. I'm gonna lose sight of the creek, I think. I knew I was gonna do that. I think it's right there. There we go. Whoa! So the hardest corner of this entire part's coming up in just a second. So if you've been doing okay so far, being able to keep up with this one, you haven't been riding up there to stay out of the hole here. It's coming in a second. You'll know it when you see it. All right, we're gonna just kind of fall nice and wide here. Nothing too chaotic. Skip this one coming up here and just gonna fly right over it. I don't want to go too silly here. Gonna get nice and wide for a second. Find the creek again. I think it's slightly more to the yeah, there it is right there. Look at how cool that is. Makes me think of all those hunting games out there. There we go. Okay, you might want to slow down for this corner coming up in a second. Wait for it. So if you see, look real carefully. You have to be on the other side of this little rock on my right here. So get ready on the flaps if you have them. Let's see everybody's best canyon turn here. Okay, here we go. Build up a little bit of energy here. Don't go over your maneuvering speed. I don't want anybody to lose a wing. And canyon turn. Man, can this thing canyon turn. That's amazing. Especially if you slow down first. Wow. I did not think I was going to be able to pull that one that tightly. Yeah, I would definitely not try that on a 182. That would be kind of hopeless. Whew. All right, so believe it or not, now things are going to start opening up in just a few moments here. So we're going to start getting a little bit close to our next part of our trip here. We're going to be grabbing US, I think it's 160 or 163. I always forget. I got to go look it up every time. And we're going to join that one basically and pop out of this crazy creek here and kind of fly along it just a little bit. I'd be really terrified of bird strikes, not going to lie. I don't think we could be this low at this speed without being able to smack into something. One of our fine feathered friends, as they say. I wonder if this voids the warranty of the plane. And I can't imagine hiking in these regions and be like, oh, you got to get to the top of that and across the river without dealing with, you know, rattlesnakes and stuff like that. Whoa, I got past. There we go. Come swing to this way. I'll look to my right here. Uh-oh, canyon turn. I should probably do a video on those at some point. That's one of those things that I read in a mountain flying book, and it's one of those, do people ever actually do that? But when you dump the flaps and you take, oh, just got passed. That's all right, though. Oh, man, where's the machine gun button? Hey, Ted found us again. Now, believe it or not, woohoo! We're going this way. Love these lightweight planes because they have no inertia. So when you cut the power, it just stops flying. All right, doing well so far. So in just a few moments, we're going to be pulling out of this big mess that have been flying us along, because we have to start taking a westerly course here. I feel like I'd have to resettle my gyro-based instruments at this point. All right, let's go. Okay. Engine definitely sounds like it needs a little bit of air. I can definitely tell we're at 5,000 feet, not a little bit lower here. All right, starting to get a little bit of altitude here. There's the creek. I'm going to pick up just a tiny bit because, like I said, we're going to be coming out of the creek and heading to our right in just a moment here. All right, look in that direction. Looks pretty good. I don't want to ruin the fun because when you see this location, I hope you're impressed. I thought it was cool the first time I was testing this level out. All right, let's pick up a little bit of altitude here, and then we're going to start swinging to the north. Look at how neat this looks. That's so pretty. I think we can go say hi now. Hey, Ted. Estiel, welcome back. Let's see. Steph, welcome back. Simon, welcome back. Greg, welcome back. Codifier, welcome back. Who am I missing? I can't see it. Chop, I can't see. I'm sorry. Welcome back. If I miss you, I apologize. We're now going to go ahead and turn to the west, and we're going to make our way to the valley. I think it's interesting they call it a valley, and you'll see what I mean when I get there. All right, let's take a nice gentle turn. We're basically right on the border here. Utah is on my right wing, and you have the lovely state of Arizona on my left wing here. And notice, the moment you take the water away, things get a little brushier. We'll take a look at everything. I've stressed this plane out pretty bad today. We're doing fine. All right, so basically, I know if you look really carefully, you can actually see the line between the two states. I'm flying right over it basically right now. It looks pretty good. Sneak my way up here a little bit. Remember, your airplane is not going to have the same performance as it does at sea level. It shouldn't matter for most of us, but that's okay. Now, I want everybody to visualize every single cowboy movie they've ever seen. You know, every American Western and everything as we're kind of chilling across this low altitude stuff here. Just be thinking about those things, about those little villages. And I think somebody's sneaking up on me here. Call it a hunch. You know, think about all those different movies you've seen, you know, where people are riding their horses across this for a second. You know, you can hear that big, that symphonic music with, the bright bass and the strings, and it's making you kind of get all pumped up for, everything that is, going to be coming up next. Now, one of the things I actually had to look up yesterday is my wife and I were trying to decide which was the highest grossing Western of all time. Now, that was one of those things where when I originally thought of it, I thought, of course, the movie Blazing Saddles. Now, for those of you familiar with Blazing Saddles, that's a pretty neat movie. But the big thing there is it was at the time, but actually Django Unchained is the most highest grossing Western in history. So if you're ever curious, that's what you have here. I always like to think about it. The Westerns are really just American adventure fiction. When we had, I did a lot of reading of books written in the late 1800s and stuff. And it was all about, being on the sailboat and discovering, the tropical island. It was all about basically pushing the edges of the map and exploring the parts of the map that were empty. So all the fiction of the era basically used that as kind of its sort of whatever we want to call it. And my theory is, again, take it for what it is that, when we started seeing more science fiction in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 70s, it was really just because, oh my gosh, look at that. Ta-da! See it? You can't miss it. Look at that. That's what we came to see, everyone. So what they read in the 40s, 50s, 60s, since the only thing that was unknown in the map was underwater and in space. So, adventure fiction never really changed. It just took on a new personality thanks to the fact that we were running out of things in the map we haven't seen before. All right, I'm actually going to trim ourselves out and relax a little bit. We've been flying pretty hard so far today. And if you look way over there in the distance, not that it'll be difficult to see, but are you looking at the Monument Valley itself right there? Now, when I see this, like, look at this thing. Go online and type in Monument Valley, and when you see this shape, you'll be like, ah, my brain. It's just like look at where this guy put his hotel. It's super smart. I'm just going to have a beautiful view. One thing that you get to see, too, in this region, and let me go ahead and tweak my weather a little bit to see if it'll let me get away with this. Where's my humidity? Woo! No, I wanted 0 humidity. Can I do 0 humidity, or is that not an option? 0.1. Ah, well, let me go less than 1. Oh, well, what you can see in regions like this is fantastic visibility. So, like, you see how the atmospheric haze, there just would be no atmospheric haze. It would just be straight through to where those mountains are. 14 years asked me, am I a real-life pilot? I am a real-life pilot, actually. Oh, man, look at these mountains. Like, one of the things I was commenting with, I was talking to somebody about this, I'm setting this video up, is like, if this was like the alien spaceship that they buried right here, like these are like, the towers and like little like, control rooms, and that's why they're just kind of poking up like this out of the dirt. It's like, it seems like it's a little out of place. It's like, no, that's like the control rooms and everything. I don't know, there could be a giant UFO down here or something. I just think it's so cool. Not bad. Not bad at all. Just look at this, like these strange things. And of course, you can be tweaking if you want to have a little bit of fun here as we're approaching this valley. One of the fun things to do here is grab your weather time. And I'm also going to take my clouds and I'm going to make them a little less. I think that sort of makes my point pretty clear. Yeah, you can get a nice little look there of just kind of getting a feel for what that could be depending on what time of day. I mean, you could do one of these things saying, all right, whoop, just got past. You could always catch like the sun just sort of burning up in the sky. And of course, when you whip it around the other way, I think I went too far. Right there. Take a look at that. That is so amazing. I don't know. I just find that absolutely incredible. We don't have a button for that in here, so unfortunately, we're going to have to deal. And one of the things we get to see kind of in our terminus today is a very sketchy runway. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. But this is just amazing. Trying to make some pretty pictures here kind of thing. 14 years asked, what do I fly in real life? I fly 3 main airplanes. I fly a Piper Archer 3. It's a pretty fun. It's a 98. So it's kind of nice, but it's, still Piper Archer. I fly a Cessna 182P, which is super fun. I love that plane. It's a big tank of a plane, and if you could put it in there, it probably can handle it with 50 gallons of fuel. We have the long-range tanks, but I never get to use it. That's where I got my high performance cert. And then the other plane, the most recent one I fly is a Mooney 20. And it's a pretty neat plane. It's where I got my complex cert. So it's actually kind of neat. I'm high performance and complex certified. But look at how beautiful everything is. It's so glorious. That's what I fly in the real world. Most of my hours in flying are actually in Cessna 172s, particular M's and N's. I have a little teeny bit of time in some other ones like Warriors and stuff like that. And I also have a little tiny bit of time in not one of these, but an airplane very similar to it. So it's actually kind of fun. Oh no! Look at the colors. Just look at that. I should have shut the names off so it's more pretty here. That is just amazing. Everything turned orange. And I should probably gain a little bit of altitude. I feel like I'm getting a little low here. Surprised how stable this plane is. You would think a light sport plane would be all over the sky. Whoa! Hey, this is just trim. I'm not touching the controls. Am I a flight instructor? No, I'm not. Now, one of the things you probably saw in one of my videos earlier this week is actually I was playing with ChatGPT, which, by the way, I've spent more time in ChatGPT than anything this week. And I asked it, I actually did Google Bard, which is Google's version of the big language AIs, and I asked it about my YouTube channel. It was not correct. It had some ideas correct, but it definitely had some things about me which are mechanically impossible. And I thought that was actually really amusing, and I love that. Oh, we found somebody's 4x4 trail. Like that guy in the RV-14 right there, Tanqueray. I think Tanqueray is a gin, if I recall. The Cessna 152. That is so beautiful. Again, go try it in VR if you haven't had a chance. It's amazing. I see something that I have to do. Actually, I'm at full throttle where it's such high altitude, my engine's not producing full power. I really need a mixture control. Yes, that's exactly what I'm planning on doing, and I highly recommend everybody tries it, but make sure your damage is turned off. Otherwise, I have no promises you won't do the thing the 2 TIE fighters did in The Empire Strikes Back, where they tried to chase Han Solo and the gang inside the Millennium Falcon, going through that tight valley on the giant asteroid. But yes, it's a little bit wider than it looks. I think you'll be fine. But the appropriate method to do this, of course, is you have to start from the right, and then you have to roll straight to 90 degrees as you pass through that. Do you have a PPL or thinking about commercially? I just PPL. I have no desire to fly commercially. I would get my, by the way, this is called the Bear and the Rabbit Summit, and the one on the right is the King on his Throne, in case you're curious. No, I have no desire to get commercially rated. I just don't need it. The next thing for me is instrument rating. I'm working on that. It's been fun. But that's it. You know, I work for a living already. Flying's just fun for me. And I'm very, very, very unbelievably spoiled that I'm allowed to get away with it. Do you see the rabbit? Do you see the rabbit? Bear, rabbit, king. If you wondered where I got the picture for our video today, it's right there. All right, everybody. When you do this, remember, you have to turn into a 90-degree knife edge. So you got to aim for this edge, go left, and slide through. That is so dangerous. So that's awesome. All right, so we're gonna sneak over here. This is called the Big Indian, if you're curious. I do have a cheat sheet here. I found the official PDF for the little park here, and you can see there if you look really carefully, recognize the face, recognize the ears. Show you one of my favorite things to do in light sport aircraft here. Sneak up to the top of this, and we're also gonna go to Sentinel Mesa. That's the one right there on your left there. Get a little bit of altitude, assuming I have the power to do this. I might not have enough. Come on, come on, you can do it. You can do it. So here's what you do. You push the nose up, push the throttle back, you just push the nose over. And you do one of these. And then before you hit the ground, you have to pull back very carefully because you're going to be right at VA. These LSAs are fantastic for those kind of things. Please don't do that with a Cessna 172. Your passengers will go crazy. 14 years asks, what do I do for a living? I teach. I also do commercial training videos, and I do, I teach both higher ed as well as regular ed. You got the right idea, Ted. I love this. You got to do the same thing again. Nose down. You're going to go right up. You don't want to stall completely. You just want to slow down. Push the throttle forward, and just do 0 Gs. That's fantastic. All right, this guy right here is called the mitten. For those of you who are curious, this is what they call the west mitten. If you you can't see my hand right now, but I'm holding my thumb out to the side so you can see the shape of it very, very distinctly. That's, like I said, this is one of the mittens. I don't know that I'm going to try to get my airplane pinched between the mitten and the mountain. I feel like that's a little tight for us. I don't think this is going to go well. Oh. Oh, man. That would get us in so much trouble. We'd be done flying for life after something like that. Y'all can try it, though. Oh, man, that's destructive. All right, this is the Merrick butt. Hey, we're just going to sneak our way up to the tippy top of this thing. Everybody's just kind of zipping around Monument Valley causing shenanigans. Oh! Come on. Come on. You can do it. And we're just going to pull the power. I'm just going to float down to my seat. Float down to my seat. You got to get it just right on the edge of the mountain. Just like that. There it is. Oh, we're going to crash. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and sneak over here to the right. I believe, where's the next one here? The elephant's over this way, I think, a little bit to the left. I think that's the one right. I think that's the elephant. I could be completely wrong here. I am definitely not an expert at this area. Yes, I believe that's the elephant. I see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? With the eye? I don't know, I just think that's cool. All right, let's go sneak over this way. Engine's like, can we stop doing negative G's, please? I do not approve. All right, fine. All right, this is going to be the Mitchell Mesa. Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. Pretty confident. And then we're going to go stop by Gray Whiskers, and then we're going to zip up the highway and kind of go visit it. Just look at the scale of this place. This is incredible. Thank you, 14 years. I appreciate that. I want to do more stuff with the AI, that's for sure. But I got to play with it a little bit. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, man, this airplane's like, can we get a little lower altitude? This is such a neat area. Please don't do these things in the real world with these types of planes. Or in this region, you're done flying for life. They'll, like, I don't know. They'll come after you in the afterlife. Oh, Lafarog's going for it. Oh, he just got it. Okay. I didn't know that I was going to make that as wrong. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, he's got a lot more room and power than I do. To me, it's airplane skiing is kind of how I interpret what I'm doing. All right. 12 o'clock. I'm just looking at my chart here. That's Gray Whiskers. Gray Whiskers is off my 12 here. And the Three Sisters, apparently I completely blew by, but I'm interpreting here. I'm interpreting. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, I was going to say, it'll definitely catch up. Yeah, I was going to say, no problem. Oh, geez, look at that ripping by me doing 150. Nice. All right, let's go find... this is basically where you're going to go stay, kind of a thing like that. I do one thing at a time. I love how many airplanes there are around here because this is such a popular region, but I don't care. I think this is a beautiful area. That little wisp noise you get from the propeller every once in a while. Apparently I trimmed up at some point. I don't remember doing that. Okay, so one of the things I like to do is I like to point out dangerous airports. And the airport we're about to come up on and just... helicopters don't mix with anything. One of the things I like about this airport is the fact that it's in a great location. It's right next to the hotel, which you have over here on the left. I'm guessing it's a hotel. Actually, I think this is a school. But there should be a beautiful airport here. And I'm going to overpass the airport, and everybody's going to tell me why this airport is badly located. All right, let's come sneak this way. You won't be able to miss the airport, by the way. All right, I'm just going to keep cruising along here. And I'm just going to point out the improperly located or sited airport. You'll see it in a second. Uh-oh, I'm getting stuck up on, I can tell. Ne pas suspendu. Now look at this, look at this, look at this. All right, ready? So there's the runway, am I right? Does anybody see anything a little strange about where the runway points? So it's a north-south runway, right? And the north-south runway clearly is pointing at the mountain. Look at that. Why would you do that? Obviously, I'm not going to land it correctly. I'm going to land the other direction. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the world's laziest touch-and-go landing, and I'm going to demonstrate the inherent danger of this ridiculous runway here. All right, we can actually go ahead and pop to regular flaps here. Put them flat. All right, nice and easy, nice and easy. This poor plane. I would hate to look at the rivets on the wings right now. Okay, so I'm doing the world's most dangerous touch and go here. And look! What am I supposed to do? What if I have to go around? Going around. What am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to sit at my VX and cross my fingers? I guess I'm just going to sit at my VX and cross my fingers. I'm looking at the airspeed indicator, and I don't like which direction it's traveling versus which way the nose is going up. Now, I have a feeling Ted's going to have no issues with this. But we, on the other hand, are getting so slow, I can feel the airplane slowly starting to depart to the right. Nope. Can't do it. Can't do it. Does everybody see my point? All right, so now we're going to land the airplane for the kind of wrap up our live stream here. And we're going to land it in the wrong direction, because we can. All right, let's do it. Sorry, I had to cough. Worst timing, just like Ted was saying. It was not the runway that killed me in the end. It was having to breathe. Who knew? All right, let's do it. All right. We're trying it. Sorry about the beeping, everybody, but I have to lose some altitude if I'm going to be able to put this thing on the ground. Oh, yeah. That seems like a safe direction to be pointing the plane. Come on. There's some glider instructor out there right now saying, don't try that again. I'm like, but the wind's coming from the other direction, I swear. What, you thought it was going to land on the runway? Nah, helipad. This is an ultralight. Oh man, that was great. We are at 5,200 feet, and my engine is not happy with me at the moment. It's like I shut the fuel off or something like that. My brake is not set. All right, as always, if you'd like to join us for a picture, I'll be waiting for you patiently over here. There we go. It was mostly a helipad landing. All right, sweet. So at this point, I always like to go ahead and visit with everybody to see how you're doing. And make sure everything's good. If you have any suggestions or questions or things you'd like to see in other videos, this would be great. I'm not going to think about that. If anybody would, of course, have any questions, suggestions for future videos or suggestions for locations for future of journeys, I'd love to hear what you've got to say here. What I'm actually going to do is a little tiny bit of ground handling. There we go. Because why not land on the lovely little pad here, even though we're not supposed to be able to. Yeah, this was bad choice here. Bad choice. Very bad choice. All right, so if you want to come by for your picture, you can come swing down now. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any bodies of water, except that there are. They're right there. All right, so we'll have something to go swimming in a second. I almost feel wrong trying to crash by Monument Valley here. All right, let's go ahead and get the picture real quick, just in case I missed anybody. Let me look behind me. All right, looks good. Looks good. Somebody brought a TBM. All right, does anybody have any questions for us, suggestions, anything along those lines as I get ready to smoosh up this plane that I've worked so hard to get all the way here today? Of course, what did I do to it? I did smoosh it up pretty bad already, so. The engine's had enough of me and it shut off. This thing does not work very well now. Oh well. I think I saw a pond. Look at how beautiful that is. Such a lovely region. All right, I think there is a body of water right over here. I saw it when we landed. This is a neat plane. I like this. I would have done this in the CH-701, but I know that this is not a built-in model for Flight Sim here. Oh, there we go. This poor guy, if he's got all players turned in, he's going to be like, what's going on here? All right. We found the only body of water in all Arizona, and we're going to crash our airplanes into it. Am I just a bad person? I don't know. Water landing. Yeehaw! Wait, what? I survived for a second there. All right, folks, have a wonderful day. Thank you, as always, for joining us. And like I like to say every time, hopefully we can do this again in 2 weeks or so. Got some fun stuff with AI coming out pretty soon, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But other than that, as always, enjoy.